Hi Krakow, how are you? Come on again. Okay, third time. Krakow, are you with me? I appreciate that. This is like the last presentation during last day of the event. There are two ways that I can take it. I am superstar and I go to prime time. I'm not sure. And there is a second option. People who organize this event probably are so impatient that decided to go with the most boring person here and to just get rid of you all from this place. Okay. That was flattering that I'm from Pimcore. I'm not from Pimcore. I'm from Divante. My name is Uchto. I am business consultant at Divante. In general, I'm responsible for B2B customers who are selling B2B. I'm responsible for some kind of advisory and sales in area of e-commerce and also PIM systems and systems who are supporting e-commerce operations. In a schedule, there were some kind of mistake because there is info about the topic. Unfortunately, we got banned because of the name of the company that's supposed to be a case about. We are in the middle of negotiations, so if there is any producers on here, probably you can take advantage of it. And the second reason was really simple. I don't wanted to tell you more about particular case study when I was seeing that a lot of people that I met here had no idea what the PIM system is. So just a small spoiler, if you are looking for something really advanced, probably you will be slightly disappointed. That will be just basic knowledge about what the PIM system is and what PIM system is for, and basic information about relation between a Pimcore and Magento. So, okay. First question and first answer. Product information management system. Probably most of you already heard something about it. This is really easy to remember. This is a system which helps us to keep all information about your products in one place. Then you are able to edit those information, and then what is the most important, you are able to distribute those information. What's the biggest asset of product information management system is that you can distribute information through different channels with adjustments. So you can, for example, send different information about the same product in different channels, which is amazing, especially right now. Second system, which is also really important and sometimes is confused with PIM, is DAM, so Digital Assets Management System. Product Information Management System is more for keeping all information about attributes, about descriptions and translations, when Digital Assets Management is more about pictures, about videos, about some documents, which is in B2B really important. So sometimes those systems goes together. Most of, I would say, producers try and attract companies with a combination of those two solutions, but you need to be really careful because sometimes it's not like this. What problems will product information companies have? That's a good question. There are different approaches of companies. For example, no problems because there's no data. You can believe me or not, there are still companies who don't give a about information of a product, and they are totally okay with that, especially producers, because they say, I'm not responsible for sales. My distributors are responsible for sales, which is, I think, really silly, and you as a producers needs to take care of it, to give the most important weapon to your distributors to just increase sales. Second approach, many different places. This is even most problematic from my perspective, because if you don't give a thumb down, this is okay because you are not spending your time and you are not spending money, okay? But if you are spending time and money and you still got those information in different places and you've got no idea where, just in case, get those information from, this is really surprising. And also incomplete data. This is also a problematic situation because companies using different tools and probably don't have some certain standards. And at the end of the day, they've got half or 75% of information about their products, which is also not effective because at the end of the day, those data are just useless, right? Okay. So how PIM system works, there is a single source of truth which contains all information about your products, but what's the process or fulfillment PIM system? This process in most of cases starts in ERP. There are some business models that adding new products starts in PIM, but in general standard is in ERP. In ERP, you probably have like 8 to 12 attributes about your products. Of course, some name, category, some basic measurements. That's all. Of course, prices. That's the, let's say, starting point for product creation when it comes to the online operations. You can also add those information to PIM manually by different departments and different business units. This is also okay. You can use also some external systems. There is more and more online catalogs which are specialized in gathering information about products. Also photos, also some digital asset specifications. You can integrate it, or for example, you can import to PIM system some data, CSV or XML, doesn't matter. And also external agencies. This is also a source of information or basic information for your products. The most useful for translations, definitely. So PIM system is for exchanging information about product internally, which is really nice to have information being at sales department. And second, of course, externally, because that's the point. Of course, at the end of the day, we would like to make our brand recognizable with consistent data, and thanks to PIM, which is a single source of truth, we are able to achieve it. The second option is co-creation. Of course, it's impossible that just one person is doing it, because I'm talking about, 50,000 SKU, 100,000 SKU or something. So it's like impossible for one person to manage. So thanks to one place, there is an entire team which is able to work on this in one environment, having one UI. And approval, of course. At the end of the day, somebody has to take care of it and say, okay, it's done, or it has to be improved again. There is a group of people who is working on information about product, or somehow just benefits from this. So we've got some category managers, product managers, but also, for example, sales. And if you've got this basic input in PIM system, then, and you've got all those people, you also got some kind of a workflow in a PIM system, and then you can enrich and start adjustment to particular channels. The most obvious channel for PIM, especially here at Magento, is e-commerce platforms. E-commerce platform can be your own e-commerce platform, but it can be, for example, your distributors' platforms. This is really useful for your distributors because every single distributor will be really happy that at least somebody just came to me and said, okay, you don't have to do nothing. You don't have to take another pictures, etc. Everything from me to you for better sales. They're super happy with that. You can just send some CSV files, or you can, for example, just integrate it just for good. That also works. Depends on the type of a platform that a distributor has, but it's also possible. The same story with marketplaces. Probably if you have ever sold something via marketplace, you are aware that every single marketplace got slightly different requirements regarding information about your products. So Allegro does it in a certain way, Alibaba, etc., Myanmar, Rakuten, etc. They require slightly different approach, different formats, and you can, on the level of PIM, before sending those information, say, okay, this is a bunch of information about this category, so it needs to be sorted like this. Loyalty platform, the same story. Price comparison engine. We can, of course, from ERP take also prices. It's not required, and storage in prices in PIM is quite confusing, especially that all those operations are done in ERP. So, but we can send through PIM to price comparison engine some information. Sales teams, I think, let's imagine a situation that you are in MediaMarkt or something, and there is a person who try to sell you something, and you think, what a nice guy from MediaMarkt. He's not from MediaMarkt, probably he's from Samsung or Sony or something. So his goal is to sell particular TV screen from certain producer. If we would like to help him to attract people, we can prepare in a PIM system bunch of certain information about particular model with a preliminary comparison with competitors' models, for example. And this is the information that shouldn't be like open for everybody. That has to be information which is some kind hidden. Printed catalog, this is also something which is more and more important from the optimization perspective for producers. They print a lot and they spend a lot of time on this. We just want to help them, giving them a tool which just gather all information about product in one place, and then all you have to do is just prepare some kind of the template, and after that you just have to spend 2 or 3 months on preparing, I know, 1,000 pages catalog, not 6 months or 7. And that helps a lot. And some kind of portals, I don't know, customer service portal or something. So the PIM system is for gathering, standardization, because you establish at the very, very beginning what exactly should consist in a full list of information about your product. Enrichment, of course, management, publishing, control, and updates. And of course, every single one is really important, but control, I think this is something what is crucial, because having PIM system and giving people access to this PIM system, you are under control how your product will be described on the internet across many platforms. So one product, many variants. From the content perspective, you can, of course, establish that for mobiles and desktop there will be different description, because in mobile you've got just less time. That's obvious, everybody knows that. Sales reps and e-commerce, this is something I already explained. Translations, of course. Formats, print web, mobile desktop, that helps us to render everything faster, because, for example, Pimcore has automatic format adjustment, depends on the sales channel. And the last one, this is, I think, the most important. Digital asset, print versus web, obvious mobile desktop. Probably you don't want to give to your customer every single asset you have, like warranty, documentation, specification to certificate from European Union, etc. Probably nobody knows that or needs that. In desktop, probably it can be somehow useful because it's quite unusual demand. And the same story with region or country specifics. We've got a customer, we've got a client, Campbell Babies, and Campbell Babies is operating on main 3 different markets: European Union, Arabic countries, and in Russia. So you can imagine that demands of certifications or specific assets will be totally different for each region. And thanks to PIM, you can just say, okay, to Russia goes only this asset, and this will never go, because, yeah. Who will benefit from PIM implementation? For sure, Commandant's team, somebody who is using CSV files or another history tool for something that should be used in a small scale but is used in a large scale. We've done it with, for example, our CRM at Devante. We had huge CSV file and nobody knows what's going on, what's wrong with you. You are IT company and you are using a CSV file as a CRM. Sometimes it's happened, I know. But we went through this transition and this is the same story. It's just easier and I'm just willing to do it. So the team will be more willing to complete all information about product having system. Cost reduction in area of content creation, time reduction in area of content creation. This is really simple because imagine a case we've been cooperating with a Polish household goods producer. They've got 2 departments. One department, probably you know the story, one department is located in city center, is responsible for marketing, and the second department is responsible for production. And those departments are really into creation information or product, but they are not communicating to each other. And this is mad, because probably someone in one city already prepared something, but another person in another city is doing exactly the same. And they are just wasting time and money. Having one PIM system, it will be impossible. And consistency, yeah, that's pretty obvious, because having this, you've got all the same information through all internet, as long as you will give access to PIM system to your distributors or any other external systems. Distributors, I already mentioned that distributors are really happy to get all information about products that they are going to sell. And if content is high quality, the sales is just better. So the producer earns money and the distributor earns more. It's that simple. And consistency through many channels, this is really important aspect. And it's really important because if somebody will buy something, would like to buy something, and see totally different measurements on one side and totally different measurements on the other side, and saying, okay, something is wrong. So the person is confused, and at the end of the day just decide to buy from different distributor, or is deciding to buy from something from different producer. And this is lose-lose situation. If exists something like this, never mind. And clients, doesn't matter if it's B2C or B2B client. Everybody wants to have a good experience. So access to digital assets, like I already mentioned, some extra assets, extra documents. If you are buying, for example, household goods through internet, you would like to see the conditions of the warranty. In many cases, it's impossible, but maybe somebody would like to check it, and having those knowledge, the decision process is much shorter, right? better UX, high quality content. It's that simple. We use for PIM implementation Pimcore, and we really like this product from many reasons. First of all, Pimcore is a PIM/TAM, so it has capabilities of those two systems, and it's also already explained, but it's also CMS. And this is like enterprise solution, what gives us quite nice option in terms of starting digitalization of, for example, some major, not saying old companies. You would like to enter internet. First step before you will go into e-commerce should be organize everything internally. And this starting point should be, first of all, gathering all information about your product in one place. And here Pimcore comes. And then what you should do, just display information about product as a marketing tool, as an online catalog, and here CMS comes with Pimcore. This is first step for us, for the digitalization of companies. And then what we have, all we have to do is just add an e-commerce button, buy button. It can be Pimcore also, but in most of cases it's Magento, because of many reasons I'm going to tell you in a second. So this is the one aspect. Second aspect is that Pimcore is really flexible, and sometimes there are situations that Magento is like too big or too standardized, and custom development will take like years. So here Pimcore comes also. We at Devante are connected with Magento like for years. We started our first implementation in 2010, and we like Magento a lot, but we noticed that it's not good enough for like every operation that we need to do having and running on a proper e-commerce. So we started to looking for something which will fill the gaps, and we decided to go with Pimcore because first of all it's open source, and we really believe in open source. Devante also introduced own open source projects. One is Vue.js storefront based, and the second is Open Loyalty, also based on PHP. And the technology was close to Magento because Pimcore is the same as Magento based on PHP. It used to be Zen framework. Now Pimcore is changing, but I think still there is a good chemistry, and those systems talk to each other very well. And also Pimcore, as I mentioned, fill gaps that Magento has. Please raise hand. Anybody who likes CMS operations or product information management operations using Magento. As I expected, this is something that we knew like those few years ago, and we started to go in deeper and deeper with Pimcore. It's not something that is enjoyable, like really. So Pimcore is a good like enhancement of Magento. So we were okay with that. This is also more framework than ready system, what is really important for really complicated businesses, that the data model is not developed from scratch, or you don't have to follow already developed data model. You can use your own data model, and you can have different data models for different channels, for example. So that was really comfortable for us. And also we lately developed using Pimcore, like e-commerce, marketplace, CRM, PIM system, and CMS for just one company. And they are happy with that. So it's possible, but only in some edge cases, right? And also it has enterprise performance. We have applied like Pimcore for implementation for Enea and Energa, so utilities companies, electricity providers. And as you can imagine, if there is a peak, it's really high, and Pimcore is dealing with that, so it's not a problem. And last thing that our customers likes the most is there is no additional license cost, which probably will be changed in a while, but still, if you would decide to go with Pimcore, right now you don't have any additional costs. All you have to do is just spend time on development. And that's all from my side. I think you enjoyed this presentation, and it was really informative. Do you have any questions? It seems that you are really exhausted after those 2 days. So, thank you very much for everything. I hope that we will see next year or somewhere in Europe. We are really active. We'll be in Barcelona in a while, so see you later.
Thanks, Alex.